I'm Cheryl Grace, corporate executive and founder of the lifestyle brand Powerful Penny. When I started my career, no one would help me. And I vowed that if I ever became successful, I would make it my business to mentor others. I've done just that for 20 plus years. And what I know for sure is that names change, but the challenges rarely do. So join me as I mentor 5 professionals in real time on Live from the Pink Couch. Who knows? You might just discover a solution to your career dilemma.
This is Live from the Pink Couch, episode 9. We've been meeting now for a little over 18 weeks then with 5 mentees. And our newbie mentee, who was Maya, Maya's no longer with us because she got a job making her dream salary of $50,000 a year, and she got her job early, and she actually started that job in March. And then we have Miley, and Miley is our rising star, who is looking to get promoted to a vice presidential role after working for 3 years at a company and having more than 16 years of experience. And we think it's time that Miley stepped up and was made VP. And we have our lone star, Darsh. Darsh is eager to start her own entrepreneurial business, a food truck, and she's going to update us today on how that's going. She's made a revision to her plans, and she plans on starting it January 2023 at this point. And then we also have the hopeful Rebecca. Rebecca has been looking for work since September of 2018 after she was laid off. And it's tough out here when you're looking for a job, especially now during these COVID opportunities. And so Rebecca's going to update us on where she's standing with her career search. And she wants to make sure that she is landing a gig that is similar to the one that she left, if not better. And then last, but certainly not least, we have Jacqueline. And Jacqueline is our Career 2.0 mentee. She has had a fabulous career already and decided, you know what? I'm not done yet. Don't count me out. And at the age of 55, she went back to school. She graduated in May with a degree in photojournalism, and she is beating the pavement virtually, of course, now looking for a photojournalist job that she wants to begin by September of 2020. So Jacqueline is our most urgent need if we're trying to get her placed by her deadline date. And these are all what we call pink elephant goals. So a pink elephant is your most audacious, bold goal that you're trying to achieve. And a pink elephant goal is one that you have to break into small bites in order to accomplish it. And generally you have to have help. And so each lady of the ladies has actually had a coach come on and talk with them about their perspective pink elephant goal and how they can go about achieving that goal. Depending on how the discussion goes today, we might need another round of different coaches to come back and have a conversation to make sure everyone's staying on track. My job here is to mentor, to answer questions, and to kind of push and nudge you in the right direction, which is why every single mentee has homework assignments each and every time we get together. So Jacqueline, tell us, what's going on since you graduated? How's the search? And you had a homework assignment the last time we talked. You were supposed to identify additional names and send them to me. And so what's going on?
Okay, so since the last time we talked, the very last time you had talked about me getting on the freelance site, so I got on those because freelance is the backup. It is what it is. It's really hard trying to find a job now with a news publication.
So I'm sorry, let me interrupt. Your homework assignment was to go on to Fiverr and Upwork.
Yep. So I'm registered on those sites. So I'm beating those sites up. But in the meantime, I've actually been hired. I've been actually working. Um, yes, I got hired to do a maternity shoot in Detroit. Then I've also been hired to design 2 book covers. Well,
Whoa.
yeah, I'm also a graphic designer.
So you are a graphic designer, so people should know that as well. You have a degree in graphic design as well. Oh, very,
Yes.
very cool.
So I'm hired for 2 book covers, had a maternity shoot. I've also done a headshot shoot. I've also gotten booked for a wedding that when things ease up, I will be able to photograph a small wedding outside. So freelance has kind of been the stuff that I've been doing for 6 years as I come along with this. And then recently, I was just contacted by Chicago. This is interesting. I was contacted by Chicago Magazine because they heard about me covering the protests here in Uptown. So they interviewed me. And this is the flip side. Monday, I have to go for a photo shoot of me that's going to be in this article with this magazine.
Wait, so you're going to be in Chicago Magazine, which is no small magazine by any stretch of the imagination. It's one of Chicago's foremost magazines. So you're going to be in Chicago Magazine because of your coverage for the protest, or
because of me. Well, this is the crazy part. Because of me being at the protest and what I had to say as far as what needed to be done to change things. Somebody had told them about what I had to say, so they reached out to me, and I'm just like, really? Like,
So first of all, for people who are tuning in on Facebook, let me say that Jacqueline is very outspoken, and not afraid to share her opinions. And it comes across in her photos as well. And so you can always get a great perspective of what she is thinking from her photos. And so, great. So this is going to be in which issue of Chicago Magazine, do you know? Will it be out?
I'm guessing the next one coming up because they're in production with this right now. And I kind of do understand production schedules. So yes, I have to go get my picture done. I'll reach back out and find out. Well, I'll actually find out for sure tomorrow. But yeah, that surprised me.
Well, that's great. So the freelance jobs that you're getting, are you getting them through any of these platforms, or are these just word of mouth from things that people already knew about you?
The 4 that I just got are word of mouth from people knowing me and referring me. The ones that are on the freelance upsites, I'm constantly applying for. You know how you just have to throw out the net and see what you're going to pull back in. In addition to all of that, talking to another good friend of mine who is a journalist, she also advised me to also look at teaching, because the thing with teaching, it also provides a stable income, and I still have my time and space to also work for a publication. And, you know, the more I think about it, that actually makes sense. And it's something that I have done for almost 30 some years, that I have volunteered teaching from when my kids were in 3rd grade all the way through high school. And so
that'll be an easy like plan C.
Yeah,
for you.
it's
Okay.
You know what? You got to have plan A, B, C, D, and E.
You do, especially given these uncertain times, you guys. So always having an option in your back pocket is very helpful. So let's get back to plan A. So how many papers have you applied to so far?
Oh my goodness.
And I shouldn't say papers, just media.
A lot. You know what? I have not even kept count. I have been throwing the net out like crazy.
So how are you tracking these? Like, do you have a spreadsheet set up so that you know when you submitted something, who you submitted it to, whether or not you've heard back from them? Are you keeping track of, like, because it doesn't sound like you are.
You know what? I actually forgot that part.
So I really would recommend, this is going to be your homework assignment, is go back through all of your old emails,
Okay.
set up a spreadsheet of who you sent information out to and when, because you need to go back. If a couple of weeks have gone by, you need to go back and send out the information again and do it in a way that doesn't feel as if, you're like, well, you didn't respond to me. Not that way, but simply send out this second wave to those same people as if you had not sent it the first time, right?
Okay.
So you don't even want to say, have you received? I haven't heard from you. Just send it out again and track and log that on your spreadsheet that you actively have sent twice now, to this individual media platform and this individual person, and whether or not you've heard back from them. And then I'm going to suggest you start calling. So
Okay.
make phone numbers, get phone numbers, however you can, by any means possible. That is your assignment, because we have now 3 months, that July, August, and September, to land you this job. So I really need you pressing forward and really, really, do the dang on thing. As you don't have any other options. So we really want you to press forward on that, okay?
Okay.
All right, great. Rebecca, how you doing?
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. So tell me what's going on with you.
So, I think how long have we been gone now? It's 2 weeks. So in that,
well, actually 4.
4 weeks.
Wow.
Okay. So I'll start with my homework assignment. So I had to reach out to 10 people in my network just to see how everyone was doing, and then also to see if there were some opportunities to connect, which I did. And some of those conversations actually led to this past week, I participated on a webinar with a former colleague from Nielsen, Katie Morse. She invited me to be a thought leader on a webisode that they were doing for her company, Develop. And she works for a company now that does online training for executives and for people in business. So business process improvement, technology, different types of resources. And so it just started this year. So they're launching this webinar thought leadership series. And so I talked about how to maintain career advancement in these times of uncertainty. And also we did talk about how to now how to continue to push the envelope to making your companies and your workspaces more inclusive. So that was a great opportunity for me to do that. And that was something that was great for me to experience. And we'll be sharing that this week. So I'll be sharing that on my LinkedIn. My other part of my homework too was to take 3 courses. And so I did take 3 courses on LinkedIn.
Which courses did you take? I love LinkedIn courses.
Yeah. So I have them right here so I don't butcher the names, but social media marketing strategy and optimization. I love social media, so I'm always trying to stay on my toes with that. Succeeding in a new role by managing up, which was great. Learning how to manage your manager, and some tips and tools on that. And then the last one I took was the art of the connection, 7 relationship building skills every leader needs now, which was really great. Again, it goes back to my passion for career development, and now is the time to do that while I am not tied down to a full-time job, but working on my own and still staying relevant in this time of this pandemic. And now also too, while all of these courses are just available and a lot of them are free for the most part. So really taking the time to do that. So that was great. And from like Jacqueline was talking about freelancing, so a couple of opportunities have developed on that end from my consulting business and working with old friends and helping them in social and content spaces, and working on a virtual event for an education nonprofit that is going to be held here in New Orleans next month. I'm sorry, in 2 months. So staying busy with that. And also on the job front, I have a bunch of leads.
Into the good stuff, the job front, right?
Yes, on the job front.
Way to bury the lead, but okay, come on.
So I have to respectfully say that I can't really share much, but I will say that it's picking up. So that's definitely good. But I will say it's definitely progressing, and these are some strong, conversations and what have you. So I'm very hopeful on that front.
Very good. And are you finding that the networking is helpful?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I've said this before. My friends call me a serial networker, and I truly believe that networking is so important, and it goes back to when I was in undergrad. I vividly remember one of my college professors saying that you won't be able to find jobs in communications in the classifieds. And he mentioned and said that it was so important to network. I remember that. It has stuck with me so much, and I think that is extremely important, and that's really been the reason why I'm such a proponent of networking.
I think networking is really critical for all of what you guys are trying to do and achieve for every single one of your individual pink elephant goals. So I'm glad things are coming along, Rebecca. That's great. Keep us posted, because it sounds like there's some promising things coming up, and we're excited about that.
Yes.
Darsh, last but not least today, our Darshana is going to open up a food truck. Last we spoke, you had developed your business plan, and it was a markedly improved business plan, really great. So tell us what your homework assignment was for the last time, and what you've been working on since I was on vacation the time that we were supposed to meet 2 weeks ago. So you guys have had the luxury of 4 weeks. And so hopefully you've moved light years ahead of where you were from our last discussion. So Darsh, bring us up to speed on what you've been doing.
Yeah, good to be back. I feel like it's been forever since we've been on this Zoom call, but a lot has happened since then. So we met, about 4 weeks ago, and we delivered our pitches, and my homework assignment following up from that and the week prior was to not only refine my business plan, which worked out compared to the first draft that I had, and, get as much as practice as I can with people hearing my pitch outside of you guys, right? And I think that's really important, because I'm asking people for money, and go figure, people aren't excited to just give money away for nothing. So I kind of broke my week up. It was kind of nice to be away from Chicago for a bit. I was with my mom. So took that time to wrap up the book that I was reading about the food truck for dummies, which I think I'm going to start rereading again as well. Because I think at the first glance, I skimmed through it to write my business plan, but I pulled a couple things that he'd mentioned. The book was written about 6 years ago, but obviously what he had mentioned still resonates with the basics and kind of the foundation of building a food truck. So I coupled that with kind of the new information that came out for Chicago specifically with regard to how businesses are operating. So especially with COVID happening and social distancing now becoming a thing in restaurants. And that got me to thinking, I'm like, okay, if I open up the food truck and obviously, this just doesn't go away, people can't just be lined up for food. So I'm like, that's interesting. So I wondered how that would work with with my opening up the food truck. So I looked into some of the laws around what Chicago has been initiating for these restaurants, which are dine-in, but if you know, a part of my business plan mentioned that it's like a patio setting would be a thing, if space provided on the grass, right? So I'm like, okay, great. There needs to be an opportunity for me to like park the truck where there's like a grass spot where people could just like go. So I looked into adding more locations into the business plan. And then from the pitch side and kind of the financials portion, broke down kind of my time frame about, okay, like say on the flip side, like the small business loan doesn't work out, what would I be looking at?
We're talking
Yeah, right, which is great because it kind of touches on like what people had, right? Plan A, great, if all goes to plan. The officer gives me the money, but considering a lot of these restaurants are now asking for money from these officers and kind of, you know, that being fail-safe, I'm like, okay, either, you know, I look into family to ask for money or I invest my own money and like make something out of it, right? So I focused a lot on doing that, spoke with my parents about it, and kind of told them like the financial aspect of it, right? And I think that's something that they never knew before. So it's nice to have their support from that front.
Did you use your elevator pitch with your parents?
I did. They're hardworking immigrant parents, like bless their soul. They didn't know what an elevator pitch was. I'm like, they're like, why are you riding an elevator? There's a pandemic going on. But it was very interesting to kind of hear like my parents' input on that. My mom was like, are you doing this as a joke? I'm like, no, I've been doing this thing for like 15 weeks now, 18 now. So it was very interesting to kind of get their input on it. So spent a lot of time this week and last week kind of just learning and refining my pitch, and adding more details into the financial portion of it, right? Like it's cut and done, like sitting here, like talking about the pitch, it's like you try to get everything out within the 1 minute, but when you're sitting in front of like the officer, I don't know why I'm calling him officer, the loan officer, you know, it's gonna be like the financial statements that you're pulling out and kind of the tax documents we spoke about, right? So when you're applying for a loan, you know, you need your credit statement, credit score, as well as kind of what you've filed like these past like 6 years, which is insane because it took me a while to find those documents after college.
You found them?
Yeah.
Yay.
So, which I'm like, okay, the papers aren't fun, but it was very helpful to kind of have all my ducks in a row, and it helped that I was also filing my taxes at the time. So I spent some time also formulating like what that sauce would be that would be like, you know, just like you put on everything, like, you know, so I formulated that recipe and I like taste tested it with like some of the products that I was making. So it's like this mint chutney, which has like coconut yogurt, but also mint and like tamarind. So it's like sweet and salty. And it's good as like a dipping sauce for fries that are part of the menu, but also just like the sliders and just like the samosa and like everything. Which is like, honestly, I think that's why I put on the weight that I did these past like 2 weeks, is like tasting all the food that I was gonna make, which was also something that I said I would do during this time, right? To see like how long it takes to prep the food and like run the line. And like thankful for my friends who sat and ate the food. And yeah, so it took some time doing that as well. And so now kind of what I've been focusing on doing, and I remember watching like a Food Network episode where this lady used to make her own hot sauce, but she wanted to find a way to bottle it and sell it. So now I'm looking at bottlers to sell like the sauce. And so like I worked on a logo for what the sauce would look like, and kind of looked at like e-commerce platforms for that as well, to kind of supplement like the launch date of the food truck. And then I also looked at restaurant staging opportunities, which is what we spoke about in my business plan, where technically you're an unpaid intern working inside of a restaurant. Obviously that's not possible now, but connecting with like all these food halls, you know, the past 3 months now that we've been in quarantine, kind of learning a bit more about how they host their pop-ups and like, have they tried out Airbnb experiences that I'm looking to get into, and like what they've seen success with that.
So stop, when you say Airbnb, so would you cater to or be like the cook at Airbnb, like establish yourself with an Airbnb and be their residential cook?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I don't think they do that, but Airbnb has this thing on their.
Some do. Like some of the more luxury brand Airbnbs, you can set it up where you have like a staff, right?
Yeah.
I come in and I don't want to cook anything. I just want to be on vacation, and that's how I vacation. I'm not cooking anything.
That's so interesting.
So you can find Airbnb owners who offer that as a byproduct of their service. And it's a little bit more expensive, of course, but it gives you an opportunity to showcase and highlight your culinary skills.
That's actually really cool. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Rebecca.
Oh, I was just about to piggyback off that. And there's Airbnb now markets Airbnb Experiences.
Yes, that's
so, you know, you can look in that route too as well.
Yeah, and to that point, I was looking at the experience portion of it, right? So I remember I took like a pasta class through Airbnb Experiences where it was like a
right.
People, and somebody teaches you how to make pasta. And you know, there's been a lot of coloring experiences with like doing like dinner cocktails and like drink dates, and I'm like, this is awesome. It would be a great way to like take a video, put like a camera to me, and like cook the food and teach people how to do that, because I know that's something that like at work we've been doing that too, where we do like every Wednesday it's like cooking club Wednesdays, and we get like a new local chef from Chicago showing people how to make the recipe. So I've been trying to
stop. So you said, I just heard you say that every Wednesday your job hosts a cooking class with a chef. Are you establishing, as part of your networking, any relationships or contacting directly the chefs that you have exposure to?
Yeah, and so I contacted an Indian chef that we had not too long ago. His name's Vinod, and I haven't heard back from him yet, so I need to like press and like learn a bit more from him. So what I've done is then go to the person who sets this up in like work, and I'm like, hey, like, how'd you find this guy? And like, tell me a bit more about that, because what his business does is like, to your point, how Airbnb has chefs, he does like yacht chefs. So like people rent a boat and he cooks like their meals and like does like private meals for them.
And can I say that we've done that before as well in the Mediterranean when we were in Greece, and we had our own crew, and all they did was look after me and my husband, and the food was amazing. But that's all they did. And so what I hear you saying is that you have started identifying additional plans, plan B and C, and maybe even D, it sounds like, right?
Yeah. So with plan A, it's like, who are other people that I need to connect with, right? So kind of putting both Jacqueline's homework and Rebecca's homework together, being like, who do I need to identify within the space that I can resonate with, and like they'll actually like take the time to sit and talk with me about this, which is what we started doing in the beginning anyway, right? So it's just an extension of that. And then two, also refining my pitch, right? And making sure that, you know, we're not skimming through the financials, and making sure that I have like the necessary documents.
Here's what I want you to do is I want you to find a loan officer.
Okay.
And go in, make an appointment to go in and talk to a loan officer about your business.
Okay.
So that's like we just gonna leap right on into, you know, the deep end of the pool. But I want you to do that, you know, not because you may be ready or think you're ready, not because the timing is ready, but for the experience of it all. So go in over the course of the next 2 weeks, get an appointment with a loan officer, and go in and pitch your business plan, your strategy as is right now. Because what I think that's going to force you to do is you're going to really go in and dot all your I's and cross all your T's and make sure it's pitch perfect, right, Darsh? So go in and make the pitch. and you don't have any expectations right now because it's not something that you're looking at securing. They don't need to know that unless they're watching live on Facebook with us. But go in and make that pitch and receive any feedback that they give you and use that to strengthen your presentation when you're ready to make it to the loan officer that you really, really want to grant you the loan. But go through the process. It doesn't hurt to go through the process early. So go through the process.
Yeah.
Are you geared up for that?
That's a good point. So I also looked into that, and like the bank that I bank with here, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on camera, but so they do like virtual appointments now. I remember I had to get a new credit card and it was through Zoom, and like she walked me through like what my offers and stuff were. And they also have like home loan advisors, and same with like just small business loan advisors. So my goal is to also click on that and then make an appointment. And hopefully I can record that. Be like, hey,
you should be able to record it. You should be able to, if it's on Zoom, or they can record it for you.
Yeah.
But, even a virtual session, you've had plenty of practice here. You've done
right.
your pitch now 2 times for us. And, I've read through your business plan. So now's the time for you to take it, go live with it, make that appointment and pitch it. And if you don't feel like, if you really want to get a loan from your bank, let's say, and you don't think you're ready to make the pitch to your bank, go find another little bank and make it to another little bank, because, chances are you're going to need to make this pitch to multiple banks. So start with the one that you're least interested in working with, and do your practice on them so that you have it airtight by the time you're ready to make your pitch to the loan officer that you're wanting to work with. How's that sound?
No, that sounds awesome, and I'm honestly pumped about that. Normally I'd be scared, but I know I have a plan going in. So.
You got it. Like I said, we've been talking through. All of you all had your pitches down pat. I think we're sending you out into the world much more confident, right? And ready to handle anything that comes your way. And so there's a book that I want to recommend. So Darsh, your homework assignment is to, before we come back on the 2nd Sunday of July, hopefully that's not the 4th of July.
It's not.
Okay.
No.
Before we come back, your homework assignment is to meet with a loan officer. All right. And Jacqueline, you've got your homework assignment.
Yes.
And Rebecca, you've got yours.
No.
Okay, we didn't give you one?
No. You didn't give me one.
Rebecca's homework assignment. So Rebecca, the courses that you're taking, which I love, I want you to take 3 courses on how to negotiate your salary.
Okay.
I need you to be ready to go in and negotiate and negotiate with confidence any offers that you get. So if someone gives you an offer, I want you to be able to go in and, first of all, you guys, you have to know that whatever first offer people put on the table, that is not the last offer. Yep. Say it with me. It is not the last offer.
The last offer.
Okay. When I am making offers, I generally start in toward the low or mid end of what I budgeted for. And you can assume that others are doing the same thing. They're not going to give you their top number right out of the bat. All right. So the other thing to keep in mind as you are finessing your negotiation skills, Rebecca, and there's a great book out called Never Split the Difference. It's a really good book on how to negotiate. Never split the difference. The other thing is avoid as much as possible giving your future employer, Jacqueline, this is going to work for you too, so you should get that book, Never Split the Difference.
Yeah, I wrote it down too.
I think the other thing to keep in mind is if they come back and say, yeah, well, we we kind of got to stick with what we're offering. There are other parts of your compensation package that you can ask for. You can ask for additional vacation time. You can ask for flexibility to work from home if they're not already just telling you, work from home, don't come in at this point. But you can ask for the flexibility of working from home. You can ask for an additional percentage being added to your bonus. You can ask for a signing bonus. You can ask if you're relocating for a relocation package or something to help you with your relocation package. There are a number of things that you can ask for. So never take the first offer that is given to you. The other thing, I think what I was going to say is avoid giving a range as much as you can, or a figure as much as you can. Ask them what's budgeted, if they would mind telling you what the range is that they budgeted for. Because, and I know in a couple of states now, it used to be legal for a prospective employer to ask you what you were making, which I never understood. Like, what difference does it make what I was making when I want to make more, clearly, than that, and I don't want to be pigeonholed into that salary amount. So, you know, one of the things that you could say is, well, I'm looking forward to hearing what the offer is on the table, because I would entertain any reasonable offer. If they force you into a range, then make sure your range is about $10,000 above your walkaway number, and know what that walkaway number is. So, Jacqueline, you got a place in Michigan and you've got a place in Chicago that you're paying for, and Rebecca, you want to move out and have, you know, enough to survive on, and so you know what you can't go beneath, right? So add on about $10,000 above that, because it gives you negotiating room. And then know what it is that you're aspiring to reach. Like, what's your dream salary? But again, I would caution, don't give out those numbers right away, because I've been in a situation before where all I was looking for, and I think I told you guys this, I don't know, but all I was looking for, and this is when I was getting a promotion, all I was looking for was a $10,000 increase to my base. That's all I wanted. And by the time it was all said and done, I got a $75,000 increase to base and bonus. I know, right? So don't put yourself in a stronghold, you know, leave yourself some flexibility.
Okay.
All right. But there's this book called The Miracle Morning. It's The Miracle Morning, the 6 habits that will transform your life before 8 a.m. Now, I happen to be a morning person. And so I get up early in the morning, and I feel like I've accomplished more before like 7 a.m. than most people do all day, because that's just who I am. But this book has taken me to another level. This book has me on steroids, right? And one of the reasons why Jacqueline's like, oh, wow, is it has the, they call it the customizing life savers. And so savers, SAVERS, life savers, which is basically 66 steps of how you use your morning. The first step is silence, just plain silence, tapping into the universe. The second is affirmations. And Rebecca, you've worked with me before, so you know I'm always into affirmations. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you see me posting affirmations. So 5 minutes of affirmations. The next is 5 minutes of visualization. So I'm all into vision boards. But taking time, and the reason I do vision boards the way I do them is because most people do a vision board, stick it up on the wall, and never think about it again. You should be visiting your vision board every single day. That's how I eat pink elephants. I look at that board. I also update my vision board once a month, so that what I am accomplishing for that year, I know what I want to accomplish that month for my vision. And then 20 minutes of exercise. 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of reading. So that's that professional development. And 5 minutes of scribing, so journaling. So for a total of 60 minutes every single morning. And they emphasize you can do it Monday through Friday. I like to do it every day because it keeps you focused. It helps align those pink elephant small bites for the day. Like, what am I going to do today? How do I visualize my getting my job by September, getting a job that's comparable to what I had before or better, and getting my food truck up and running, or getting my restaurant or my product out in spite of COVID. I don't think you should be looking at COVID as a limitation. Let the 95% of the rest of the world look at COVID as a time to like, oh, woe is me. This time you need to be like propelling straight forward, like just boom, 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 right? And getting this book and up-leveling your mornings, I think is really going to help you.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to Amazon and getting this book.
Yeah, it takes a little time to come from Amazon because it's not a Prime. For whatever reason, it took me like almost 2 weeks to get it. So, yeah, but just so you know, so get the book. What questions do you have for me? What concerns do you guys have about anything that you're trying to do? How can I help?
Honestly, personally, for me, you have given me the blueprint for what I need to cover plan A, B, C, D, and E. It's a no fail. I mean, I've got the blueprint, so thank you.
Okay, and you're gonna put it into action. You got to scale it up, Jacqueline.
Yes.
I hear you getting comfortable with some of the freelance stuff, but Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, New York Times, those are your coveted babies.
Yes.
Right? Don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of your vision and keep going at it. The more energy you put at something, the more likely you are, something's got to give. So keep boom, 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 just hitting it. All right. Rebecca, what's up? So you want to do better than what you did before. So you're just smiling. Those teeth are just gleaming. So, so are you ready for that?
Yeah, okay. I am ready for it. And, my goal was by the end of July. So my birthday is at the end of July. So, Cheryl, I always do it big for my birthday, no matter what it is. No matter which it is. So I think that all of those will align. And I think I'm on a good path. And this has been great from a structure standpoint. And in addition to everything else that I've been doing to get me to that point. So like I said, I hopefully will be able to, begin to share some things soon.
Great. Well, we have some comments. Kelly McElroy says, hi, beautiful ladies. Dana Johnson said, Darsh, your version of red hot sauce, put that ish on everything. Natalie says, what's up, girlfriend? Lori Cook is watching. And Cheryl Robinson Jackson says, great advice. So what I really want you guys to do is I want you to put your heads down and focus. Rebecca, I forgot your deadline. I thought we said September 2020, but it's July 2020?
It's July.
Okay. We're coming in at the finish line.
We are.
This is not the time to look back because it slows you down when you look back.
Yeah.
This is the time you put your head down, you concentrate on you, and you just fly. You got to go. Because we got 32 days left.
Yes.
Let's bring it on home.
Yep.
I need another win. I need another mentee. Roll out of the tribe.
In the
Come on, Rebecca.
in the words of Beyonce, I'm in the words of Beyonce, I'm gonna keep running because a winner don't quit on themselves.
A winner don't quit on themselves. I'm just so excited about all the progress you all are making. Jacqueline, focus.
I am.
All right. Darsh, go blow the heck out of that loan officer's mind. And Darsh is gonna come back next week and say, "Oh my God, I wasn't even trying." I walk
Right.
away.
Darsh's gonna be like, "Here's my hot sauce, guys. Here's the
Wasn't even
prototype."
trying.
She's gonna be like, "Here's the first batch."
Right.
I'm pumped. I'm excited to. I feel like it's great on paper, right? But you never know until like you're in front.
Yep.
Of somebody asking them for money.
Yep.
So I'm excited. I'm not nervous. A little bit nervous, but excited.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. All right, ladies. So I'm gonna see you the second Sunday of
July 12th.
July 12th. Thank you. July 12th, live from the Pink Couch. I am going to edit this and incorporate all of your bios and your homework assignments and turn it into a full production, which everyone can then find at powerfulpenny.com. You can see some of the other episodes on powerfulpenny.com as well, and see and do some of the homework assignments right along with the ladies. And because a lot of the advice, regardless as to what your goal is for your career aspiration, a lot of this advice is transferable across all of these goals. So go knock it out of the ballpark. And, I'm with you all, and I'll talk to you on the 12th of July.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, ladies. Have a great week.
Thanks. You too.
4th of July. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Check out the full Live from the Pink Couch web series and keep up with all 5 mentees' progress on powerfulpenny.com. This has been a Powerful Penny LLC Pink Elephant production.